Good morning. So, again, for the 999th time, I'm not here for likes, views, or shares, or anything like that. All this is therapeutic, and most of the things that I say is pretty much my own opinion. Anything that I say, anything that you say, is really your own opinion. Um, so, with that being said, let's move forward. So, uh, sorry, one second. So, I think I mentioned how, like, on social media, there's certain people that don't want to hear what you have to say. And let's be honest. Well, okay, I can't say let's be honest, but from from what I see, from what I've noticed, is that it's mostly the left-sided minded. I'm not saying the whole entire left. I guess the mindset of the left that doesn't like to um, hear some truth or reality or have a intellectual debate. And when you are challenged, and it could go for anyone too, right side as well. But like I said, from what I've noticed, from what I see, for the many years of existing, I noticed that it's the left. And what I notice is that they normally block you if you don't, like, agree with them, or if you say or something or joke a certain way, they they tend to overreact. They'll call it negativity or toxic masculinity. I've never heard of toxic femininity, but this thing, maybe, I don't know. But long story short, that's what that's what's being done. You get blocked. You you wanna share your rebuttal on maybe some outrageous thinking topics. You know, like and that goes for Facebook. And the main reason this video is probably, yeah, is because of Facebook and some of the people that are on there. You know, um, like, I am 30. I'm going to be 31 in March, and I live with women. Clearly, my mother and everything for a little bit. I've dealt with women all my life. Like, that's like a quarter of a century and then some. You know what I mean? So, based on where I live and how I see society, I kind of have my opinion on women, respectively so. So, you know, a trend that I see is a man gets married, whether he fucks up in a marriage or not, he tends to get fucked out of everything that he worked really hard for. if a female becomes homeless, she gets help. If a man becomes homeless, he is told to stop being a beggar and pretty much essentially get a job. If there's a custody battle with children, let's be honest, 9 times out of that 10, no matter what state you live in, it's the woman that normally wins that battle. So over time, and so over time, you hear the long debate. Aside from gun control and everything like that, the other debate is equal rights. So, and you're going to have your opinion, I'm going to have my opinion, but when it comes to that subject, do we really want equal rights, or do we really want more privilege? You know what I mean? So because of all that put in one pot, I have my opinion on how I view you women, and how I would conduct myself if I ever decide to fall victim into a trap and into a relationship. You know, um, if I do against a relationship, I'm gonna love my women. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I will be on my guard. And where I'm trying to go with that right there is when I was on Facebook one day, and you scroll through various videos, and then I guess there was an old video about um, I don't know if it was People's Court, Fraternity Court, some type of court. You could find it on TV, honestly. You know, um, this one guy, black guy. Um, Actually, there's 2 instances where I saw um, men almost being fucked over in court and completely getting fucked over in court. So one instance was where this black man he he had a child by this other female. I'm not going to say what she is, but I'm sure you know where I'm going to go with this anyway. So both of them, because it takes two to tango, had a child together. But before they had a child, she had a child from a previous relationship, not marriage, relationship. So she's bringing him to court because she essentially wants more money for child support. This man works day in, day out for everything. He admitted that he's not on any kind of welfare, because even though he applied for help and applied for welfare, he was denied. And when the girl brought him to court for more money, he the judge took a close look at it, listened to what the lady had to say, and realized that this lady was a piece of shit, and she's making the rest of the women look bad for the way they conduct themselves in court, and that the system has to stop. So if it was any other judge or any other state, I forgot what state they were in, but if it was any other place, the guy would have definitely had to divvy up more money for child support, in addition to taking care of another child that's not really his, that's not remotely his. you know, her excuse was she needs more money for her hair. Yeah, you know what kind of woman that is. More money for her hair. She needs money for shopping, for shoes and everything like that. Nothing like the only valid reasons why she needed more money was more food and clothes for the child, but everything else was superficial and circumstantial at best. Long story short, the judge didn't agree to her terms and chewed the female out for essentially, like I said, being a bitch and exploiting the system. The second, and then when the video was over, I commented, on Facebook that women ain't shit. About a day later, Facebook blocked me for like 30 freaking days. I was salty about it. And then they went back to all the other things that I said, like, I guess bringing up prior offenses, and they're like, yeah, so we're going to suspend you for 30 days. And honestly, I wanted to delete Facebook for a while. The only reason why I kept it is because there are a few friends on Facebook that that passed away, that I grew up with. There's Aaron Conroy. There's Ryan LaFrance. There's Miss Chen. I went to high school. I mean, we weren't like friends, besties, buddies. But when I transferred to him in high school, she was one of the very first people that was actually relatively nice to me, and I left a big impression on me. So I don't know how she passed away, but you read these things and you see it, and then there's Michael Kiefer. I have his brother on Facebook, but he passed away too, and the crazy part about it is like, I talked to this guy like a week ago, or a week prior to him, essentially doing suicide by cop when he was in Florida, and Connecticut's a shitty fucking state, but for some reason he wanted to come back here, and after I heard what went on down there, I was like, wow, like he really wanted help, and and maybe I could have done something. But long story short, the reason why I keep these the Facebook profile is because of that. And then when Facebook puts you in Facebook jail for having an opinion, it makes you kind of sad that you can't see these people that you used to have beer with, that you used to study with, that you used to, skateboard with. I wasn't much of a skateboarder. I didn't skateboard a lot. I couldn't even do an ollie, but, the idea. You know what I mean? Me and Mike used to play video games, and then, you have Facebook that blocks you. They say you could see what's going on, but you can't comment, or you can't like, or you can't share. And it's like they're your friend or family member's birthday that came by, that passes by. You can't wish them a happy birthday, dead or alive. You can't wish them a happy birthday, and it's like that kind of sucks. The second video. So that aside, the second video that I saw was about it was the same court, different judge, And this one guy, he went out with this girl for a while. It turns out that she cheated. He was a white guy this time, not a black guy. He was a white guy. He dated this one female for a long, long time, um, to the point of wanting to marry her. Now, for some Harry Potter Narnia magical reason, he thought it was a good idea to get a blood test. I think he had a blood test because um, because a child went to the hospital for some reason, or he went behind her back and got a paternity test. I don't know, but he found out that the child wasn't his, and long story short, they ended up in court, and he the the mother was trying to sue him for some reason, but um, I don't I forgot how it went verbatim, but he almost got fucked over, and that's why I feel the way that I feel about you know like relationships, marriages. You know what I mean? And then speaking of marriages, like before I went to the Navy, I lived in this one apartment for since I graduated high school. Like as soon as I graduated high school, I got my own place. Instead of spending money on a dorm, like a dumbass, I could just have my own place and just commute back and forth to college and whatever. Even though I stopped going to school after a few semesters, at least I still had a place of my own. And then at first I thought I knew the landlord. I thought he was a nice guy, but everyone, they're cloak and dagger at the end of the day. And then I met Nicole, and so I'm not trying to like bash anyone or put anyone down, but before I didn't get evicted. I kind of like I took the high ground. I took the high road per se, and but what I'm trying to go with that is that if I could lose a bunch of memories and achievements from an apartment and everything like that from a female not even being married, you know, what can I lose when I am married? And that's what I'm afraid of, you know. And when I address these issues on Facebook, you know, you you get the, oh, you're a toxic man, you know, you deserve what happened to you. It's not your place, it's the landlord's place, and the landlord gets to choose. And I'm like, yeah, there are laws behind everything. Like, like I could have, honestly, I knew the landlord couldn't afford fucking money to like legally evict me. If I wanted to be a fucking asshole, like I totally could have been a fucking asshole and stayed. And to the point where he had to pretty much put up his house for legal fees, just to get me out. But I did get it because I was about to join the Navy anyway. So I was like, fuck her, fuck him, fuck West Haven, fuck Connecticut. I am destined for greatness. Either you fall in line or you die in the past. Simple as simple does. And then when I try to explain my side, when I try to have people hear me out, people tend to talk over me. They tend to um, be set in their ways, and then no one really, you know, listen to what the other person has to say. So sometimes I just stay to myself and just don't say shit and just like let it happen. I know that I'm right. So instead of telling you how I'm right, I'm just gonna let the magical universe show you how I'm right. Where you're gonna have to come back to me and say, hey, you know what, you were right. Cool. And then, you get blocked by people on these conversations, and it's like, you know what, you just don't want to hear it. And then again, not to get political, but Trump and Biden, then it's like, you know, fuck Trump, and it's like, okay, why do you not like Trump? Oh, because he's a racist. Okay, tell me how he's a racist. Well, I don't have to. He's just a racist, and it's like, exactly. You don't know how. You probably heard it from someone else, and then the list goes on, and then you really can't prove why he's a racist. Now I can definitely prove 3 facts why Biden is racist. I don't want to go into it because I'm trying to keep this video as short as I can. My goal in the future is to make like a 10-minute or less video, because I notice like most of my videos in average is like 20 minutes long. But anyways, like you know like I seen some of Biden's views, and like I'm like, hey, do you guys completely forget he said this shit? He didn't want his kids going to school with you. Now all of a sudden you're voting for this guy as president. This guy wants to put you in prison for longer. All of a sudden you're not black if you don't vote for him. Like, how can this motherfucker tell you if you're black if you don't vote for him? Like, that's some fuck shit to me. But hey, it's America. You have the freedom to do what you want, and I respect the fuck out of that. Now, with that being said, yet when you try to put some facts out there, you have Facebook that's like telling you to that you should check your facts, and it's like, okay, well, I kind of did, you know, and I feel that Facebook is becoming more like a censorship versus, I don't know, it's more of a censorship now. So I was researching on YouTube. I was researching other social media platforms that could be a Facebook alternative, and they named a few, but for some reason there's one app called Minds, Minds. It popped out the most. So you know Google doesn't go to your phone and share it with Facebook or anything like that, and like low key takes your information and use it for marketing or anything in that nature. It's private. And the other thing that I found out about Minds is that if someone, like, if it's like extremely like racist, or if it's like that someone could potentially be at harm, like a child or a life, you know um something can be done and interventions will be said. But if you try to block someone because they made a joke that didn't agree with you, Hooper fucking Dorman, you can't be blocked. So yeah, so I created an account on Minds, and yeah, I created an account on Minds, and I'm still trying to get a feel for everything. And I guess I'll just build from there. I mean, who knows? Maybe it will be the next best thing. Maybe people could actually say what they have to say without being fact checked. Maybe people could, express how they feel without being blocked or being butthurt or having another person try to force their opinion on you without listening to your side. Maybe this is a platform where you can actually have people listen to you. Maybe this is a platform where you can actually do business without Facebook intervening and blocking your page and all that stuff. Maybe this is a start for everything. So yeah. um, I know that was all over the place with this video, but this video was mainly about Facebook and me switching over to Minds. So thank you.